Hello again, I'm April at Permaculture Visions, and I would like to show you how we use flow in permaculture design. In permaculture design, flow is often a pattern that moves through time. And yes, there is a great psychological state of flow where you can be focused, interested, skilled, and motivated to make a difference. And I hope this tutorial helps you achieve both a sense of flow in your design work and physical flow and efficiency in your designs. Before we talk about flow, which is the movement of patterns through time, let's grab the concept of patterns and flesh that out. A pattern is an arrangement. It's discernible. That means you can sense it through one of your 7 senses. Sometimes it's invisible, sometimes it's an instinct. The pattern is recurring and it's often replicable. That means you can make it happen again. It contains bits, it contains elements, particles, matter. It's created by shapes, sounds, behaviors, and data, and I should add in there by forces. It's formed by nature and or by people. It's intentional or it's unintentional. I've had a lot of experiences, outcomes that were unintentional. It's distinct, as in it's quite clear at times, or it can be messy. And the most exciting part is it's part of a complex system, so more than one pattern can appear at any one time. This year we had a bumper crop of grapes and just couldn't eat them all, couldn't share them all. So the remaining grapes went to the chickens. And then when the chickens got sick of the grape, was then put automatically into a worm farm. From the worm farm, we have our seed raising. And then from the seed raising and garden, we get new grapes. It's a pretty simple flow. So there's a little bit of a hierarchy in this flow. The poultry get the first pickings, and then at the end of the day, when they have not eaten it all, we put it straight into the worm farm. Now, sometimes I do regulate how much goes out there because I need to space it over a couple of days. We don't want to have any rats enjoying the pickings. This is a worm farm that is designed by Dr. Sandra Tuchinska. There are support rods to stop compaction of the area below, and there's a hatch at the bottom for her to easily access the castings, the manure from the worms. So here's our version of Dr. Sandra Tuchinska's worm farm. There's a slight modification in ours. I put some strong metal fly wire over the hatch with straps, metal straps, to make sure that nothing gets in there, because we have native rats, antechinus, and lots of lovely creatures in our garden. I don't want to find them when I'm cleaning out the worm farm. Here's a smaller version of that worm farm, vertical worm farm, and a nutrient flow, but it can also be used to create a loop. So you can take the nutrients from below and put them back into a pot plant at the top, and then it flows through again. So on the top level, I've got 2 things. I've got a potted plant, but we've also got a feeding tube. I've covered it with a decorative cover there, but you take the cover off and you throw down some, usually just coffee grinds, because they're easy to flow down the tube. Now on the middle level, you've got worms with bedding and a filter. You could use fly wire again, or you can use hair or fur that you've brushed out of a dog. And then on the next level down, you can put weeds, and that becomes liquid manure, fertilizer. And then at the bottom, there's a tap with a little cup, and you just get a little bit of this fertilizer and put it back into the top level as required. It's an amazing system designed by one of our students, Robin Crosland. So now let me show you a little bit of an example about water flow. Let me tell you the story about the retro roast coffee van down the road from me. I've put a red X where the van is located, and you can see the waterways that come near the van and how they all converge and then pass down to the bottom right of the screen. Here is the street view of the site where the cafe van was going to be installed, and it's probably taken just before the installation because the grass is tall and the cattle is gone. Here it is now. You can see the cafe van, and they have boxed themselves in so they can't get out because they didn't have a design to allow for extreme rain events. See how all the trees are blocking the access to remove the van in a hurry. So what happened in the extreme rain event was that American Creek overflowed past the scour dish and filled up this whole floodplain area. Here it is looking at it from a different angle. And the momentum of the water was impressive. The speed of the water and the volume was so intense that it went up over past the height of the van and up onto the bank on the far side. A bit like a skateboarder. Here we've got a skateboarder is able to get right up high, and it's got a little icon for the van that survived this massive inundation. So the cost of underestimating our flow means that we've got an increased risk. I don't think there was a design. The garden just evolved, and this would look nice there, and this would look nice there. That's how it came about instead of doing a proper design. And so then it was very difficult to relocate the van, and the insurance costs went really high. So my challenge to you for this session is to ask you to describe a flow in your life. And how can you use flow to make your life more efficient?